Hello and welcome back to MoAre3. Time for some statistics, including all games that were played except for the grand finals, which I'm going to upload next after this video. And I'm going to show you the civilizations that were picked in each game, starting right in with Game 1, which was between Byzantines, Japanese, and Saracens, so intended as a monk war. And as it turned out, Byzantines, the most played civilization, 67 Byzantines wars, 43 games between Byzantines and Japanese, and 16, the third highest number between Byzantines and Saracens. So in a total of 300 picks, 150 games, Byzantines was picked 193 times, showing how strong Byzantines actually are on Arena. Makes sense, they're really popular, and can keep that in mind. Between those three civilizations, we have a clear favorite. Game 2. Game 2 was really interesting when it comes to settings. Ban 2 civilizations, Aztecs not allowed, so in total of 3 bans, and then pick 1. And the top civ being picked here out of 149 games, so 298 picks, was actually Britain's 58 times. Closely followed by a Spanish, 55. And then come the Turks with 42 and Goth 31, as well as Mayans. That was allowed 30 times in a total of 149 games. Interestingly enough, that's the top 5 here, leading to the top matchup, Turks against Britain. 16 games actually in that combination. Really interesting to see. Britain's wars 8 times, and then we have Spanish against Britons, we have Spanish war and Spanish against Turks. Also played pretty often, showing actually how popular Britons are in Arena in that pick civ situation. And also the Spanish here, 55 times. I guess Turks and Mayans were like banned more often, and I really liked the settings. Game 2 was always really interesting to see. And I'm hoping for other tournaments to use these settings too, or similar settings might even be interesting on Arabia. Don't really know, maybe Arena, it's easier to play different civilizations, but still it could be an idea for future tournaments. Let's see if somebody is gonna take that and use it again. Let's go to Game 3. Game 3 between Celts, Britons, Goths, and Franks, and especially in the later stages, there was a huge dominance of the Celts. So picked 138 times out of 290 picks, which makes 145 games. 40 times Celts were, 29 times Celts was Britons, and 17 times Celts was the Franks. Interesting. And therefore, Celts most often picked, followed by Britons, which makes sense. Goths and Franks actually really often, compared to what I expected, but I guess that was in the earlier rounds, and that means later on it was mostly the Celts, sometimes the Britons that were picked, which makes sense again. Celts, a really strong arena civilization, once again, can go against almost everybody. Maybe not against Aztecs, I don't know. But Celt Siege just really strong. We've seen some very good games there. Going into Game 4, also picking from 3 different civilizations, Mayans, Turks, and Goth. And some people claim that was like, you needed to get lucky here, get the right civilization. And I'm saying yes and no, because we see Mayans picked most often out of 110 picks, 55 games, 60 times Mayans, leading to 17 Mayans war, 40 times Mayans with Turks, and 12 times Mayans with Goths. Goth, and I guess on the top level it really is like one beats the other, but in total I guess Turks is the best civilization here because they have the best chance against the one civ that is supposed to be stronger against the Mayans, while Turks against Goth, yeah, we know who's going to lose here, and the same goes for Goth against Mayans. So only Mayans Turks was a little bit interesting, I guess. Still an interesting setting, maybe not to be repeated, but I enjoyed those games. And Game 4, of course, not played too often because a lot of games ended 3-0, and only in the later stage when it came to best of 7, Game 4 had to be played. Coming to Game 5, actually, Team Random, and there are 2 Aztecs wars actually that we got. Not sure in which rounds, but still. by chance, by random picks, by random computer generation, got in Mayans actually 5 times, which is really interesting. We do see Korean students, Celts was played a few times, and then a few with 2, with 1. We didn't see Byzantines, Persians, Turks, or Vikings in game 5, but only a total of 33 games, so no surprise there that not all civilizations were actually played here out of 18. Still, interesting. Team random is always good in tournaments and should be included, which leads us to game number 6. Only a total of 3 games that include game 6. Of course, only happening on a best of 7. Saracens versus Huns. That was played in the winners bracket finals between Loisa, Saracens, and Vipers, the Huns. Then we had losers bracket round 9. Pretty unfortunate for Slam. He's skipping MBL, one of the strongest civilizations on Arena, which is Turks. MBL choosing the Franks to let Slam play, and I think that was a pretty easy game for MBL. And then we had a Franks war in round 11 between Fire and MBL. That's the 3 games that were played in the settings of game 6. Choose your opponent's civilization, and sadly there isn't a single game number 7 up to the grand finals, so no more Aztecs. Was it Aztecs War? I'm not even sure what game 7 settings was, but I think it should have been free pick, and usually you might see the Aztecs at least in 1 of 2 players' choices. But still, it should be interesting to see, and I hope that you enjoyed not only casting but the statistics here. I can assure you I miscounted at a few points, so it's not like exact, but it's roughly an approximation of what happened in Master Arena 3. And now, without further ado, let's go to the Master Arena 3 Grand Finals in the next videos. See ya there.